Hey everybody, we are jumping into Money Game Part 2, and I'm really excited about this one. I was super stoked with the last one that we just did with Money Game 1. I'm fresh off listening to it as well. Has been very long since I listened to it, so I've got all of it still kind of rattling in my head and everything as well. And now we're going to jump into Part 2 and see where we go. I'm pretty excited. Let's just jump into the lyrics and everything else and see what we get. Okay.
Strange time of living in panic and hysteria. Poor man learn, the rich man don't care for your narcissist mindset spread like malaria. Sit back and watch the show. America, Britain split through fickle shit. A government of hypocrites. These counterfeit politicians sit in parliament, not adequate. Come on. Needlessly bleeding resources all dry. Turn a blind eye if it means a pay rise. Oh, what a shame it would be, I would die if number 10 Downing Street burned in a fire. Only joking, only messing, don't be stressing. I'm a peaceful adolescent, there's no need to be unpleasant. Write my thesis in a rhyme scheme to analyze the brain while my fingers on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, rain, rain.
Whew. Goodness.
Come
on, bud. There you go.
Distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we died upon the blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
Okay, all right, so he's keeping up with the same with the same melody of that part and everything else too. And then coming at it still with, the political stuff and whatever else. This time he's got a lot of the visuals, which I really like. So it's pre-recorded, this isn't a live thing. And, he's got all the different people on there, which is something I really like. He's not just, going at, Britain or whatever. He's going at America and what else too. So yeah, I mean, he's just kind of pointing out all these different political figures, calling them greedy, everything else. Nothing too much you can say other than what he's already said. This is something where, once again, I just really love how he's able to do it. He is able to do it in such a way that just comes across effortlessly, but you can tell that he put a lot of effort into it, if that makes sense. He's not afraid he's not going to shy away from saying what he wants to say. I think he's the type of person who, because of his sickness and his illness that he had went through and has been through, that he isn't one to want to silence himself. He's got a life to live, and he's going to live it as much as possible, which also means speaking a voice as much as he can, especially for anyone who is maybe voiceless, who feels like they can't speak up. He's going to be that person for them, which he does with mental health stuff as well, and with talks about like domestic violence and everything. And here he's doing it as well. So really loving it. Sounds amazing. Let's keep going. I'm digging it so far. Panic. Hysteria.
This old money game.
He's got the little clips of himself, or with the past video too.
This old money is a game, and the ladder we climb turns a saint into a sinner with his finger in crime. I'll break it down for you motherfuckers line by line. This is business economics in a nursery rhyme.
Let's go.
She sells seashells on a seashore, but the value of these shells will fall due to the laws of supply and demand. No one wants to buy shells because there's loads on the sand. Step one, must create a sense of scarcity. Shells will sell much better if the people think they're rare, you see. Bear with me, take as many shells as you can find and hide them on an island. Stockpile them high until they're rarer than a diamond. Step two, gotta make the people think that they want them, really want them, really fucking want them. Hit them like Bronson. Influencers, product placement, featured primetime entertainment. If you haven't got a shell, then you're just a fucking waste, man. Free, it's monopoly. Invest inside some property. Start a corporation, make a logo, do it properly. Shells must sell, that will be your new philosophy. Swallow all your morals, they're a poor man's quality. 4. Expand, expand, expand. Clear forest, make land, fresh blood on hands. 5. Why just shells? Why limit yourself? She sells seashells, sell oil as well. 6. Guns, sell stock, sell sell diamonds, sell rock, sell water to a fish, sell the time to a clock. 7. Press on the gas, take your foot off the brakes, then run to be the president of the United States. 8. Big smile, make big wave, that's great. Now the truth is overrated, tell lies out the gate. 9. Polarize the people, controversy is the game. It don't matter if they hate you, if they all say your name. 10. The world is yours. Step out on the stage to a round of applause. You're a liar, cheat, a devil, a whore, and you sell seashells on the seashore. Rain, rain,
Oh, what a great twist on that. Let me back that up a little bit. I couldn't stop him. I couldn't stop him from going. First off, just the, she sells seashells on the seashore line, and then going into all that, such a great thing to do. So clever, so awesome. And he's doing it in such a great way. And the fact that he was able to stay on the seashells and everything throughout all of it, and then pointing out the fact of selling all these natural resources, like rock, water, oil, everything else, and give it to all these people and make them, take it from them when they could just have it. I mean, he's just speaking, there's like a sense of understandability when it comes to someone seeing some seashells and going, just to keep on with this idea, someone seeing them and saying, oh, I'm going to pick some of these up, sell them to others who maybe can't get out here, want some, couldn't find some super, super easily, or just wants a really pretty one. I'll collect a lot of the prettiest ones and sell it. And that in and of itself is not an awful thing to do. But then when you just take it that greedy step farther of saying, what if we actually get rid of the seashells? What if we collect all of them? That way no one can get to them themselves, and then we do it. That's obviously where the greed and the power and everything else comes in. Whereas before, you're just kind of doing something kind of cute. It's like a kid making lemonade, on the street corner, or, you're trying to sell bracelets or whatever else. You're just kind of doing something simple, like painting rocks or whatever, and trying to sell those. But yeah, once you take everything and suck it all up, and over time, they've done that in lots of different ways. The Catholic Church, it was with reading and things like that, and having control over religion. And to some extent, it was understandable what they were trying to do, which was trying to make sure that it was spoken properly and wasn't taken out of context or anything else, because it took a lot of reading to understand the complexity of stuff, and it took a lot of wisdom and knowledge. But at a certain point, it's like, well, why aren't you teaching anyone how to do all this? Why aren't you showing people how to read and understand so that way they can understand, rather than just keeping it for yourselves? And then once they kept it for themselves, they were able to, take advantage of that and everything and make people believe what they wanted them to believe. So, I mean, it's all over the place. So let's keep going, because I wanted to hear this part again on number 10. So let's jump into it and get blown away again.
Polarize the people, controversy is the game. It don't matter if they hate you, if they all say your name. 10. The world is yours. Step out on the stage to a round of applause. You're a liar, cheat, a devil, a whore, and you sell seashells on the seashore. Rain, rain, rain,
So we're guilty of it too. We're guilty of it too, and we also play a role in it, which is what he talked about last time and in this part.
It's easier to blame. We point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game. This old money game.
Yeah, we go crazy for money.
This old.
I was curious if he was going to light himself on fire, though, and if he was going to show that. But one of the things that I think that is interesting about all this, and I'm sure Money Game Part 3 is going to continue with this whole, topic and everything else, because I know they weren't just put out one after another. I know they came out over time, it seemed like. But what I really love about it is just the level of honesty and vulnerability and everything he's putting into it, the speaking out, whatever else, and just the fact that he's not trying to just be a one-trick pony kind of person. Like he's not just trying to fit into one little niche or one simple thing. He's trying to be broad with the voice that he has. He's not just talking about frustrations with, mental health and doctors and things like that. He's, pointing it out to all other kinds of people. When you do that type of thing, you can easily divide your fan base. You can easily divide people, and they can look at you and say, what do you know? Like, you're saying a bunch of dumb stuff. Like, what are you talking about? But he is just speaking very honestly and open. And so I think that that's really good, because the more honest and open you are, the more you put your opinion and thoughts out there, the more you also do invite critique and criticism, but also correction and everything too. So I'm sure there have been times where he said something and someone's been able to give something back and he's corrected himself or has adjusted his point of view. But I'm sure there's also a lot of people who haven't thought about a lot of this stuff or have thought about it, and they're the ones who kind of get corrected based off what he's saying, and he's able to show them a different point of view. And so I really appreciate that he does that and takes that kind of a stance, because it definitely needs to be talked about. These are definitely types of people I really like, are people who are not afraid to be vulnerable and speak a broad message to it all. So I really, really appreciate him doing that. Once again, like I did with Money Game, the first one, I'd love to hear how you all feel and are impacted by this song and by these videos. Mostly just how does it connect with you? I'm sure you connect with the music, you connect with the lyrics, and with that messaging. What is it that it does for you as a Ren fan, as someone who listens to Ren consistently or occasionally? What does this do to you? What does it tell you? Does it inspire you? Does it correct you? Does it motivate you? What does it do? I'd be really interested to hear a lot of that from you all, because for me, it inspires me for sure. It makes me really think harder. It makes me want to be a different kind of a person. It makes me check myself and put myself in check as to what I'm doing whenever I see people like this being like that. So I always appreciate it. People who aren't pretending that they are holier than thou or anything like that. They're just pointing out the truths and that it also applies to us. So I really appreciate that. But well, that's all I really have to say. I won't go into my typical spiel about some of the membership stuff or anything like that in this one, because I did it more in the last one in most of my videos. But I will ask that you do subscribe, that you do leave comments below, because that really helps me know that I'm going in the right direction, and that, you guys are really enjoying this type of stuff. I said in the last video that I'm trying to figure out a good time to do a Ren live stream, because I'd asked, through a poll what you guys wanted, and you guys answered, and that you really wanted a Ren live stream. And so I have to get some software and some equipment in order to be able to do that, to make sure that I do it well and read up a little bit on a couple things, because I tried it at a practice round and it didn't go well for me. Everything was really laggy and it just didn't work. So I want to make sure that it's as good of quality as possible for you guys. But we'll do that, and we'll schedule that. Leave below some comments as to what maybe would be some cool live streams, whether it's me watching some of the chapters or me watching certain videos, or just maybe chatting about Ren in general too. So thank you all though once again, and leave some comments below, and I will see you all there and talk to you. Bye.